Come on, Crowley, you know whatever you try, you're gonna lose.
You're right. Bye, boys.
It's Crowley, right?
So, the Hardy boys finally found me. Took you long enough. Mother, why do you hate me?
I hate you. Because if I didn't, I'd love you. But love is weakness.
Even when I lose, I win. Bye, boys. Of us, well, the truth is, we stopped caring a long time ago. Asmodeus has his hobbies, Dagon has her toys. We're happy where we are. So if you want the crown, it's yours. Otherwise...
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll take it. I mean, I graciously accept. Swell.
Bye-bye, Crowley.
It's not what I said.
Oh, what the?
The hard part is that I do feel a little screwed because I got screwed out of this line. Yeah, that's my bitchy, moany, whiny phase. But yeah, that's I would have preferred it in there. If you ever watch the end again, you know where that line goes. And that line is pre-lapped in the Men of Letters scene, which they also cut a big chunk out of, which was about winning and losing. It was the setup for the end line, which was my decision. And the decision that Crowley made at the end is a result of the fact is entirely down to winning and losing and what it is. And it's the fact that he makes that decision himself, it's not thrust upon him. It's like he needs to do it, so he does it. So, why it may be hard to deal with, in my head it'll always be him saying, you know, you're going to lose, and me saying, funny how you should say that. When I lose. So these are the things I'll cling on to, which will drive me crazy for the next one.
You know, I've been focused for so long on keeping my job. Never realized I hate it. All those whining demons, the endless moan of damned souls, the paperwork. I mean, who wants that?
You.
Once, maybe. Bollocks.
So over the 8 years, obviously the character evolved, and when you learned, it was
Into what?
well.
You saying I got fat?
No, I am
You are.
not
You're saying I
that.
put a little weight on, but
But
we all got a little older, a little grayer. The boys had kids.
the boys
Yeah,
and
yeah,
kids.
they did. The moosey one still had chicken legs, so he didn't get any bigger.
In the end, I know that you weren't entirely happy with the wrap-up of your character, but I love, love, love the story that you shot for your character's last episode. And so could you share that versus what the audience saw on screen?
Well, look, I mean, fair play to Andrew Dabb. He'd written an end piece, a sort of a placemaker end piece. He wasn't quite sure, I don't think, what he was going to do with the end. And he did the death in 21, which doesn't really make a lot of sense because they don't spark out in front of Lucifer. So I was like, oh. So it just sort of all turned into this sort of very complicated thing. And, you know, I knew I was done, but they can't, there's an old, God rest Stephen Bochco, who actually did just pass away. There's something called the Bochco rule. Do you know that? You know that
Yes,
rule?
yes.
The Bochco rule is you never tell an actor he's done before you finished filming him. Because the type of people that Stephen Bochco used to hire for actors would blow up the set or like shoot people or not show up or do stuff or whatever. So the Bochco rule was always in place. So if you've got an actor and you want to shoot him for episodes, you don't tell him his services are no longer required. But I was, you know, I'd already driven all my stuff down from Canada. I didn't have my apartment anymore. I was aware I wasn't coming back for season 13. So it was the situation that dare not speak its name. So, you know, and I said my love and goodbyes to everybody. I took my time. I took a couple of weeks to thank everybody that I knew, and so it wasn't an event. It was a sort of slow letting out of a balloon. And 21 was 21, and I was like, "You gonna fix it?" And I was like, "No." I said, "Why don't you just leave me dead? It would have been a lot more sensible. Just have me dead there. Would have been a nice shock."
Right.
He was like, no, we have to do this thing and we have to get this right. So I'm like, okay. So he sent me a script and I said, look, I love you and thank you for everything you've done, but, you know, maybe we can, you know, focus us in a little direction here. And you know, I said, you know, the only thing, Crowley doesn't care about Fergus and he doesn't care about Rowena and he doesn't care about any of that stuff. Never really did. He only cares about winning. He always cared about winning. And, you know, he just constantly won. And, you know, there was a thing, I had a joke with Jeremy for years that even if they wrote me losing in a situation, I was going to play it like it was my idea anyway. And he started laughing. I was talking to Robbie Thompson today. I was going like, it doesn't matter what you guys wrote. I always wrote it like it was I always played it like it was my idea.
Right.
Which is like, so I always knew this was going to happen. You know, if they had the drop on me, it was like because I knew they were going to have the drop on me. So it was fun to play that way. So they rewrote the end, and the end was, you know, Andrew did a really good job writing it. And there's this huge speech in the Men of Letters, and I'd asked him for a line that I wanted to put in. So when Rowena's dead, I'm like, and he go, Lucifer. Lucifer. So I guess which one that was. In my line, I added the line. Funny, I always thought it would be me that killed her. And everyone was like, you can't, that's awful, that's terrible. I'm like, it's absolutely correct. And they were like, yeah, it kind of is absolutely correct, it makes sense. Because it would, you know, Rowena was never really a mother to Crowley. The thing that was the problem for Crowley is it's Fergus's mother, it's not Crowley's mother, and that's what always gets so irritating about it. I always played it as though everybody else has a mother, so why can't I? And she always played it rather brilliantly that way, but it would have been so much more interesting if she was my ex-wife. Or, you know what I mean? If she was Gavin's mother but was my ex-wife, it would have been a fascinating situation. Do you know what I'm saying? We tried to make it work that way, but it got a bit complex. So they put in this huge, it was a great speech that Andrew wrote about, like, I've been trying to keep my job for so long, I never realized how much I hated it. I think that was a bit personal from him. but it was like, it was written very caustically in that way, and I think Bob deliberately designed the shot so he could cut the middle out, and the middle contained the words. It just kept going on and winning and winning and winning, never stopping winning. And even when I lost, I won. Even when I lose, I won, you know, never stop winning. And then I come back and did the conclusion of the thing to them at the table. And at the end, when Lucifer is there and I step up and I know that I'm the only answer in this way, he goes, you know, you took it personally. I was like, yeah, I hate that line. That's just fine. Okay, we'll play that out. Yes, you humiliated me. How the hell could Crowley be humiliated? I mean, he had no... The guy was, you know, as deviant and as odd as you could possibly be.
He would flip everything
of course.
winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't make any difference. So it was like, okay, I'll let that go. But it's like, and he goes, you know, and the line was, you know you're going to lose. And my line was, funny you should say that. Funny you should say that. And then I say, because even when I lose, I win. And I turn around to the boys and I say, goodbye, boys. And then stab myself, which is supposed to be this shock moment. And so they cut it out. And I was like, well, that made it less fun than it would have been.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit, So I did a T-shirt in revenge, and we raised plenty of money for charity, and thank you very much.
That was awesome. And the T-shirt is awesome.
T-shirt's great. It's fun to do. It's fun. Listen, I have so many fond memories of doing that show. It would be disingenuous to complain about it because it was 8 years of fun and camaraderie. And, you know, Jared was looking at me and goes, God, dude, I've known you nearly a decade. I mean, if you think he was in his 20s when I met him. And now he has kids and, you know, they're married and grown up and very cool people, a very nice group of people to go to work with. And I got married, an amazing wedding in Pacific Palisades, sort of between Malibu and Santa Monica. And it was, you know, everybody finished work on the fratter day, as we used to call it, and planes were hired and people's plans were changed, and, you know, everybody in the crew was invited to our wedding, and it was black tie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Every single person that could come came, and there was, you know, there was a lot of people there. So it was a very, very wonderful place to work and be part of. And the boys are a big part of that.
Not our kind of weird. Look, whatever this thing is going to be, it's going to be big and bad.
You rang? Hello, boys.
Did you do it? Did you let Lucifer out?
I didn't let.
Don't!
Moose, a little help here.
Dean, wait. Seriously?
Seriously?
So, why are you here?
Well, whenever there's a world-ending crisis at hand, I know where to place my bets. It's on you. You big, beautiful, lumbering piles of flannel. So if you'll forgive my transgression, I'll make it worth your while.
Which means?
After we put Lucifer back in his cage, together, I'll seal the gates of hell. You'll never see another demon again, apart from, of course, yours truly.
You would do that?
Why not? They stab me in the back, I'll happily stab them in the front, the sides, and right up the little black-eyed eye. So, we have a deal?